So going over support mirror. Okay, support mirror is going to be extremely essential to understand. Okay, we have to understand that all market does a lot of the times is repeat itself. Okay, as we can see, we have price, and this is going to be on my 30-minute time frame. We have price bouncing from this area of support here, and then we're also going to have price bouncing from this area of support here. Okay, so it's just real important and imperative for us to understand that market likes to repeat itself. Okay, even when it comes to a shorting scenario. Okay, when it comes to market falling down, okay, you're going to be able to see here that market created an area of resistance here, and then we can see price reflecting again, creating another area of resistance here. Okay, so we can see support bouncing twice. This is going to be on my 30-minute. We have support bouncing once here, and then we have support bouncing another time here, and then we're going to have resistance bouncing one time here, and resistance bouncing another time here. Okay, this is going to be an amazing example of how market just repeats itself over and over and over. That's all it does. Okay, so we're going to go over from start to finish exactly how to identify support mirror, exactly how to find a good setup, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you over your homework. Okay, so from here, first pair I want to go over, we're going to go over ES, YM, and Q, and then we're going to go over gold last. And I love to even mark out stuff that I don't play. This is going to be really, really important to do too, because when you start doing this, you're going to be able to see market within a much more linear framework, and you're going to be able to get into the mode like, okay, market potentially wants to bounce here, 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 here. So I'm going to make sure I set up my account the proper way to make sure I can catch these trades. Okay. So once again, even though if you're not going to trade ES or NQ, I really do recommend you mark out the setups and just see if you're right. Okay. Really do recommend that. Let me go ahead. So we're going to be doing top-down analysis. Great question. That's going to be a very good question. So this is going to be top-down analysis. So we're going to be starting on our daily first at all times. Okay, at all times. And then we're going to go down to the 30-minute at the lowest. Okay, so I like to go from daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, and then 30 to just verify everything. Okay? So this is why we have to start on the daily. Because when we're on the daily, I'm going to go ahead and hide the volume. We get to, of course, see the full trend of everything. Okay, so as we can see, we have price creating support here, price coming up, price coming down. Okay, so if we just went ahead and looked at the line chart just purely, if we just drew a straight congruent line on where market's at today, as we can see, just looking at the green line, we're clearly heading in an upwards direction. Okay, so of course, this is the S&P 500 is what ES is based upon. Okay, ES is based upon the S&P 500. Okay, so understanding that, that's going to really help us get in a direction to where price is going to go in an upwards direction, of course. Okay, so ES once again is based upon the S&P 500. So that's why we're going to see this index heading in an upwards direction. So that's why a lot of times on futures, I'm not going to be looking to short. Me personally, if I do take a short, it'll be right into the next level of support. But a lot of the times when I am trading indices or currency, gold you can get off some shorting with, but when I am trading, for the most part, even when I am trading gold, I like to trade it when it's bullish, because when the buyers step in, it gets really parabolic. You know, these aren't really meant to fall down to zero, but there's going to be time where, of course, there's bearish price action. So getting your full scope on your daily is going to help you understand what type of trade you're going to be looking for. Okay. See if within the green line here, within the past couple of years, we can see price just heading in an upwards direction. Of course, taking some dips, but these dips here are what I like to call higher lows. Okay. So as long as price is making higher lows, and what higher lows is say you have this low, for example. Okay. And then before this low, let's say you had, let's just say you had this low over here. Okay. And then let's check this out here. Here's a great example of some mirror going on again. This is why I love trading. It's so easy. It's just about finding the pattern. Okay. Check out these two areas here. 1, 2. Okay, we got 2 areas here. 2 areas of what? Support. Okay, the reason why this is support is because buyers are pushing price up. Okay, once again, this is support because buyers are pushing price up. Okay, buyers are pushing price up. So that's going to let us know that this is support. Okay, and then as we can see, we're going to have price progressing incrementally. Okay, so then after this low here, price went up, went ahead and blasted up to this area of resistance here. Okay, so check this out. Just like we have these 2 areas of support being congruent near each other. Exactly. Boom. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, really 5, yeah. So 5 areas where price decided to short from. Okay. And then once again, exactly like you just said, genius. This is going to be resistance because this is where sellers are pushing price down. You only play and enter at previous levels of support or resistance to catch the mirror. Okay. And the reason why we focus on mirror areas have the highest level of volume. So people, so people are looking to buy or sell there, no matter if price invalidates it. Okay. So to catch the mirror, we have to understand that mirrors, why we're catching mirrors in the first place, mirrors have the highest levels of volume. Okay, as we can see, price decided to rip right here, have a giant volume spike here. Price hit this area of support. Boom! Bang! Burst it up. Okay, we hit this area of resistance again. Okay, of course, there were seller here's before, so they were like, you know what? Let's sell it again here. Let's not get greedy. Cool. Guess what? Price came back down to the area of support. Volume spiked up again. Bang! And as you can see, strong wicks here in the same place. Why? Because buyers are looking to buy in the same exact area. Now, guess what? I'm about to blow your mind real quick. Check this out here. Okay, I'm going to remove everything. And check this out here. Here's another example of a mirror. Boom. Bang. So we have support over here to the left. This is my daily. And then we have another support area here. Boom. So here we have this area of support that turned into this area of resistance that then turned it into support again. And then we kind of did it here for the first time. And then it tried to maintain here. Okay, so it's awesome. No matter what we're looking at, we have to understand that price is going to always be looking to repeat itself. That's what's so dope about the market. It makes it really, really easy. Price is always looking to repeat itself. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to keep repeating myself. Price is always looking to repeat itself. Okay. So even right here, for example, I love to just mark areas of support. Okay. So even here, even this area of support here. Okay, we can see price came down over here around this area and decided to give us a bounce here. Let me head over on my 4-hour. So after you find the setup on your daily, I love to hop on my 4-hour. Okay, hopping on the 4-hour is going to make sure we can verify everything we need to look for. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out a recent setup. And we're going to do it from start to finish here. So once again, we're going to stay on my daily here. And then we're going to hop down to the 4-hour, then the 1-hour, and then the 30. Okay. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Support mirrors or resistance mirrors. Okay. In this case here, I can easily see on my daily. Let me zoom all the way out. Okay. I can easily see we're heading in an upwards direction here. Okay. Extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. Why? Because we're making higher lows. You see price making higher lows here. So what higher lows is price not pushing past the previous area of support. So here, let's say we have this low. And then we have this low above it. These two areas of support here. This is going to equate to a higher low. And it's a higher low, of course, because exactly the previous low. When you see higher lows getting put in, price is most likely bullish. Okay. So when you see higher lows getting put in, price is most likely bullish. Okay. It's extremely important to pay attention to that. Price is most likely bullish when we see higher lows getting put in. Okay. So here, let's say we have this low, then we're going to have this next low. It's going to be a higher low. And once again, these are just going to be areas of support. That's all these are going to be. And there's going to be a reason why price is falling down to these areas here. But these mirrors, already passed. So even for this one, I could see this mirror is bouncing because of over here, this price action here. Okay, so boom. And then with this mirror here, it's always going to be some type of evidence. Okay, boom. Let's go and let's mark out this area of support here. Let me drag it down just a bit. I'm gonna long line it. Okay, so I do have a strong area of support here. So we have a strong area, resistance here being created from this orange line. So I believe that's where the support is being created from again. So that's where this orange line support came from here. Okay, and I love to just go back and see why each of the supports did what it did. Okay, even this one here. I know this one bounced because of this area of support here. Okay, let me go ahead and zoom in. Here we go. We have an area of support here. And I love to just put down the long line once again, go over to my left, and be like, why did support get made here? Let me find the mirror. Boom. Here it is. Okay, here's going to be the other mirror where price decided to bounce from it the first time. Of course, we had an invalidation, but I love invalidation after a bounce, okay? Because that's going to be like, okay, price wants to give it a try again. Okay, so even if price falls below the area of support it originally created, that's why it's on us to catch the mirror. Because price is going to retry the validated area of support again. And it's really important to be there for that. Okay, it's going to retry it again. If it's a key level, it's going to retry it again. Yep. Gotcha. So the confirmation entering, a lot of times that is going to be your best entry, especially in the futures case. Yep. Yep. So boom. So a lot of the times it'll just be limit order right at it. Or if I'm on options, then it'll be alerts right at the level. Here's literally how I play everything. Just alerts right at the level. Plus my W on. Exactly. Yep. And that's why I like to take my time, make sure I understand what chart I'm looking at. It really helps when you're just trading one chart too. That's why I really do understand why trading one pair is actually pretty good, or just trading like one currency or whatever. Yeah, for sure. Marking out the other ones are really great for practice, but as far as just trading, you could just trade gold. Okay, so boom. So we're really just getting the full picture of ES here. You see, we're just creating higher highs and higher lows. Deciding to just press up in the upwards direction. Okay. And then let me go ahead and mark these out. Boom. Support, support. Another support area here. Okay. This really could be it, honestly. Price might want to take a dump down here, potentially, eventually. If not here. I love to just look at key areas of support wicks, because a lot of the times these are going to be the areas where price wants to dump back down to mirror again. Okay, so pay close attention on your daily and 4-hour time frame to these small wick zones where price decided to create these bundles of support at. Okay. So here we have a bundled support zone. Yeah. Yep, you can enter out the 30-minute or the 4-hour or even the 1 hour. A lot of the time the zones are going to look the same, but that's really what you want to see exactly. Yep. So boom, I like to go ahead and put these areas of support down here. Okay, because I definitely can't expect price to come down here to one of these areas, and then we could easily catch a nice catapult up. But even right here, as price is progressing in the upwards direction, okay, so I see why this mirror happened. Okay, this one was easy over here. Someone caught this wick into this area of support here, and to this area of support here. And I'm gonna get on my 4-hour and just check things out a little closer. Okay, so you see this strong wick over here? You see how we wicked right off and then bursted up? And then you see how price wicked right off again and then bursted up? It's too easy. Okay? It's too easy. So a lot of the times price is going to be wanting to repeat itself. So now what I'm going to be looking for, I think I found the next one. Easy. Boom. I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. So check out this zone here. Okay? So we're going to have, ooh, I think this is it. So we're going to have this area here of support. One. Okay? We got two over here. We got three. Okay? And then we got four. It's too simple. Too easy. One, two, three, four. Four key areas of support here. We see this here on the 4-hour. On this orange line. This is support mirror. Okay. Support mirror. So we saw price already wanted to support mirror from here. We bounce from here. Here. And then this zone decided to just take off over here. Okay, so the black line, that's going to be this whole support zone here. Okay. And that's why the previous supports are going to be so important. Because a lot of times they're really going to help you for your stop loss. Okay. So in this case, you could have did stop loss underneath this wick here. Or if you wanted to, it could have been down here underneath this wick here. So to make sure your stop loss, if you're playing long, okay, if you're playing an upwards direction trade, then you're going to be waiting for price to come down and then come back up. Okay, so in this instance here, we have the next area of support mirror marked up. Okay, we have an area of support over here that's super heavy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my 1-hour. Zoom out, make sure it's exactly what I need to look at. See that strong wick? Boop. Remember what happened last time? We had a super strong wick. Price decided to bounce from that area. Okay, so same wick here on this black line. Boop. Burst up. Had price do it again. Had price do it again recently. Okay, so now we're going to come down and wait for the next area, which I believe is going to be this strong support zone here, where we have this area of support. We're going to have this area of support. Exactly. And then we're going to have this one. And then we're going to even have this one over here. So look at all that evidence of price bouncing. Price keeps spiking down to this orange line and then ripping. Here's the first instance. 1, rip. 2, rip. 3, rip. 4, rip. You know what I'm saying? So if price keeps ripping from that area, and guess what? We had an invalidation recently. Price is like, hold on. We were ripping from this area before. If we don't come back down and give this a good world try, so what I'm going to go ahead and do here, especially if I'm on futures, I would just put my buy alert down here. And then, Chris, where's the stop loss going to be? Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and find another support mirror, such as this one, for example. I'm going to make sure it makes sense. Okay. So I kind of do like this one here. And the reason why, let me zoom in. My stop loss line is going to be this red line here. Boom. Okay, reason why I'm choosing the red line is because we got this area of support right here. And then kind of price came up and spiked back down to the same general area again. So I'm a big fan of that. I'm a really big fan of that. So this whole general area here went ahead and created some nice support. Okay, because why would price come back down here again into the same exact place just to spike back up? Okay, so this red line here, I'm going to pay very close attention to. It's going to be stop loss right underneath the red line here. So we have our entry. Okay, I know I want to enter here. I know I want to wait for price to come back down here. And then I want to catch it back up. So you're take profit. And just choose an area of resistance. You can either do the previous one where price is falling from, or you could do like a big one, such as like here, for example, since you know price wants to come up here in order to make some progress. Okay. Price can't get back to all-time highs unless we're breaking resistances. So that's exactly what we just went ahead and did here. You can see we have these two areas of resistance. Yeah. So a lot of the times you can. A lot of time, especially on futures, it's going to be such lucrative money. So this is 200 ticks here, and then stop loss. So this is going to leave you. Go ahead and drop it down. Boom. And then we're going to move the stop loss up. So this is going to leave us at a 2.5 risk to reward ratio here. Okay. So extremely clean. Okay. Easy. Simple. We don't make it hard. And guess what? Remember why we put this red line here. You see this wick right here? So this is really going to be the real stop loss here. So it's going to be right underneath this red line here. Okay. Because a lot of the times, and we have this price action over here. So we have this price action here. We have this price action here. Cool. So price could also potentially come down here as well too. But this is why I love to have my stop loss set. Because if I come into an instance where price doesn't want to bounce here, cool. I do have my stop loss underneath the next support level. So if price truly doesn't want to bounce here, then that's going to be a full loss. But that's going to be a real loss. Okay, because I'm entering at where buyers bought previously. Okay, so you always want to take those kind of chances. And a lot of times I'm really am thinking this is going to be it because we did already bounce from the black line down here. So I'm really thinking it's either going to be this orange line support mirror here, or it should be this red line support mirror here. Okay. And if you want to give it a chance too, you could set alerts. Price does move fast at these support levels too, which is why you don't have too much time in order to wait for a close. Because people are going to be waiting for price to dump down to these levels. That's why it wicks off so hard. Because once again, people are waiting to buy from these areas. Okay, so it's like this orange line, for example. People keep buying here. Buy it up. Buy it up. Even here on the 30-minute. Okay, just unlock this. Buy it up. So people love to buy it up here. Okay, and then even this red line here, this is why this red line is so imperative. So yeah, price is either going to bounce from this red line or this orange line. I'm extremely confident here. The reason why I'm confident in the red line, we have some more price action over here that I'm really loving. We can see price coming up, coming down into the red line, causing us to burst up. Okay, another piece of price action over here. Price wicking right off the red line over here. Big fan. And then price, of course, doing this near the zone over here. And then, yeah. So that's going to be the red line. The red line has so much buying here. So that's why my stop loss is going to be underneath there. Or if you wanted to, you could be even more patient if you wanted to. Move your... Yeah, and wait for the red line. If you wanted to, that'd be a deeper trade. Because say you did catch orange line, price could definitely still bounce here. But price may want to close at the resistance right here. It may want to close at the resistance here by chance, and then take a deeper fall into a deeper area of support for a bigger rally up. So if you wanted to be patient, which you definitely can be, you could move it down to the orange line here. And then I'm going to find another good stop. I could leave my stop here, though. I really love stop under major previous area of support, because that pretty much gives me almost 100% win rate. Okay, because price is going to try and bounce it where it bounced at previously. That's just how people play. That's just the psychology behind it. So especially if market comes down into a deeper retracement, that's going to give us a lot more probability to catch a much bigger trade. Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and slow it down here. So we're going to go ahead and go over the NQ. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna actually do something really cool. I've been using a lot of the coding knowledge and just blending that with what I've gotten going on with business. So what it's gonna be is it's gonna be a really, really cool like presentation. So it's gonna be a presentation, and then I'm gonna add some steps in there too, just so you can fully understand everything from top to bottom. So yeah, okay. So here we're gonna go ahead and go over NQ, and we're gonna start from top to bottom. From start to bottom, this is where we're gonna go ahead and start at. And as you can see, check this out. This is crazy. I haven't even looked at NQ in so long. You see I have this entry line right here? Okay. Guess what? Price decided to create a clear support right here. Okay. So yeah, there's a reason why I put that there. Um, so yeah, it's super easy. You know, even stuff I don't look at or play, I mark it out just to make sure I'm right in the future. Yep. So cool. Let's go ahead and let's go over some YM here. Okay. Top down analysis. All right. And once again, you're gonna have the full instructions here, but let's go over it. So top down analysis. We're gonna go ahead and start on the daily time frame. Okay. We want to start on the daily time frame. The reason why is because we got to get our full broad view. We can't just be up on the 15-minute looking at what's going on. We got to make sure we have a full broad view of the market and what's actually happening right now. Okay. And within the past couple of years, for example. So we see we have market creating support here. Okay. And then we just got market. I'm just going to go ahead and draw market with this marker tool. Okay, I'm just going to follow market best I can with this market tool. And then afterward, I'm going to look at market. This is going to be a really easy way to see if you're in an uptrend or a downtrend. Okay, I recommend you grab the marker tool and follow each of the highs and when price dips down, etc. Okay, so this, I could tell we are playing an upwards instrument. Okay, over the years, price has been doing nothing but going in a consistent upwards direction. Okay, so boom, price just keeps going in a consistent upwards direction. All right, so now that we know this, I'm going to understand, okay, this is a bullish instrument. Okay, this is meant to go in an upwards direction. So start on your daily, scan the full trend over the years. Okay. So starting your daily, you're going to scan the full trend over the years. And when you're playing the same pair, it's going to be engraved into your brain what market is doing. You're going to know, okay, wait, market is bullish right now. Market is bearish right now. So you're pretty much going to know it like the back of your hand when you're playing the same chart every single day. Full trend over the years. Yep. And you can go ahead, you can grab a marker as well too if you need. And then once again, you can just start on price action. Keep drawing, and just making sure everything is on point. You know what I'm saying? So boom, that's going to be that there. So now I understand we are bullish. Okay. Bullish means we're trending up. Okay. So daily scan. Then look for support mirror on daily / 4 hour. First to find initial setups and scan the ladder. Okay. So what I mean by scan the ladder is pretty much do what we did last time. Just put in areas of higher lows and higher highs. Okay. So here, let's just say we start off with this area of support here. Okay. So from there, price went ahead, went up, created another area of support here. Yep. So I like to just make sure I understand the full ladder. So just get on the daily and then mark out the heavy areas of previous of supports. So you can see just like I'm doing here, I'm just looking at where price decided to wick down from and then give us a burst because that's going to be an area of support. Okay, and the reason why these are important once again is because these are going to be the areas where price wants to potentially give us a mimic. Okay. It just gets easier and easier. So even here, for example, here's a simple congruency. Okay. So even over here, we're going to have this area of support and then this area of support mirroring each other here. So big fan of that. Okay. Still just marking them out. Because once again, when I mark them out, it's going to help me know where my stop loss is going to be too. Okay, and then we're going to have this area of support over here, creating this area here. Okay, and then over here, we got this area here being created by this area here. Okay, it's free. It's too easy. Okay, so now I understand a big picture on my daily. I'm going to just put a candlestick on this wick here too, just because there's a lot of price action and repeating over here. Easy. Okay. So now, there we go. And then here, I'm just going to make sure this zone is like this. Okay. So then here, after I went ahead and found my support wicks on the daily and make sure I go into ladder systemation, I'm going to scale down to my 4 hour here. And then we're going to make sure the ETH is on electronic trading hours. Hey, that's why we have to go down to our 4 hour because we got to be able to see the electronic trading hours. And then boom, as we can see here, you see how price just mirrored each other just cleanly here? Just free, easy, not hard at all. Okay, and then we had price come down here. It gave us this wick. So I can see exactly where this wick came from too. So check out this wick. This wick came from over here. Okay. So this most recent wick, boom, gave us a support mirror off of this wick here. And then we also even have another wick here very, very closely. right here. So super duper simple. Once again, on futures, you got to be stupid precise. But once you get it, you're going to be seeing a lot of the similarities. Guess what? We got another wick here too. And then I want you to pay close attention to this candle here. This one's kind of like a doji candle. So there's not a lot of confirmed buying or selling in this candle, but we did wick up hard from the support. A lot of the times when you see a hard wick up off support, later down the line, then that can create a key area of support. So we had a very strong wick from here, and then we push price up. Okay, so boom. Now, yep. So yeah, we're gonna mark them out on the daily first, and then we're gonna drop down the 4 hour just to see everything a little closer. So now I'm gonna look for the next one, which I really think it could be this one. Okay. Now left to look, left to right here. So I'm gonna have this area of support here. I'm on my 4 hour. We kind of got this area here a little bit. We got this wick here falling in the same zone. And then I'm a big fan of this wick right here. And then price coming over here. Let me get on my 30 minutes so we can see it closer. Okay. So we have price creating an area of support right here. And then I think we might need a retest over here. Cause I do see another wick here. Let me zoom out. So yeah, we have this wick here. And then we have another super heavy wick here in this zone. And then we have this here. This is what I really like too on the 30-minute. This wick here on the red line. We got some more buying here kind of in this congruent area. I like this a lot. Because why would it burst up just to wick off the red line again? Okay, so this red line zone here, I'm a big fan of it. So I'm going to grab the box. And this is going to be the whole zone here. Okay, yep, that's going to be the whole zone here. So I'm going to wait for price to come in this area here. Here's where I would set alerts. And then, so here, it would just be right here. Yep. So like right by the level. So right here, I'm waiting for price to come down and give me an upwards bounce again. Okay. So a lot of the times, price is going to be quick. So you can see wick here. So that's going to be your best entry. Because, you know, it's going to be best to lose there versus losing anywhere else if you're going to give it a try. Because that's going to be the lowest area of support. Okay, so here we have this previous mirror. Okay, cool. Absolutely. And then here, yep. And then I would do support here. I really do like this support area here. So we have support here. So we do have this area here. This one's really, really clean. We have one here. Made price burst all the way up to this resistance just to come back down. Exactly. So this lets me know. And then also, you see how we do have this red here? So honestly, I might do the entry, this red line instead. Because why would we dump all the way down here just to mirror it here again, flashed up again? So what I'm going to do is actually set the alerts down here to the red line. Okay. Yep. 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 That can give you a strong mirror. And I really do like it here too because we also have resistance. And then we also do have another clean area of support here too. So it really could be this red line here, honestly. This red line actually I think is the next leg because guess what? You know why this makes sense? Why would price, let me drop down to our 15-minute here. Why would price come back here to wick off of this area again? Why would it wick off of this buy zone? Okay, so I actually do believe that it's going to go ahead and be this red line. So this is why I love taking my time and marking out everything. Because you're going to be able to actually see what's going on within the real price structure. Okay? So with we have this bullish price action here. Price bursted from here to here. Price bursted from here all the way up here. Okay, so as we can see, when price comes down into this little area, price emerges from down here, and it went all the way up here just for price to come back down and not even go below it for a minute. So this is a very strong area of buying here that we see. Okay, and once again, we also going to have strong area of resistance here too. So resistance and support in the same area. I'm loving it. Okay, I'm loving it. We also do have some strong buying over here. So yeah, honestly, I really do think it's going to be this orange zone here. I'm extremely confident in it. I think it's going to be the orange zone. So I'm going to go ahead and set alerts here. And now I'm going to look for another wick for my stop loss to go ahead and go to. Okay, or see here. So let me look for another wick here. We could do stop below here. Stop below this support cluster. Yep. Yep. So I could definitely do stop below this support cluster here. Because if we go below that, then that means, yeah, buyers definitely aren't in the right area. Right. And then check this out here. You see how we came up just to do this? Just to do what I call the pro entry. So we did the original break up just to do a pro entry. Why would support just randomly get made here? For it to come down, wick in the same area again, and wick off. I think price, exactly. I think price is going to need a real dump down into here, need a real validation of support, and then we'll take it back up. Okay, because why would price come down here in these two areas and give us these random wick offs during buying? Okay, so now we need a very heavy dump. We need price to heavily dump into this area. Set alerts, stack cash, grind. Okay, grind, just stack cash, stack cash, stack cash. And then from there, once your cash is in motion, you're going to be able to go ahead and just dominate. Okay, you're going to be able to go ahead and just catch the right setup that you want. So it would be alerts here, stop loss at the red line. And remember, these are going to be buy areas. So the reason why we're buying in these areas, you see what happens when price comes into this area here? The sec, exactly, it shoots up. It shoots up. So you're not going to be sitting in trade for as long as you might think because price works off volume. People are going to be shorting in the same places. And people are going to be buying pretty much in the same exact places. You know, market is just, it's that simple. It's that easy. And people like to just make it quite simple, at least the people who know what they're doing. You know? Take here, for example. You know, people who longed up here. Exactly. People who took some kind of uptrade from this zone or any of these mirrors over here, you know, they went ahead and said, okay, cool. I see market bouncing in an upwards direction. Let's say someone caught this mirror. So I see here on my 30, this area of support over here. I decided to get tested again over here. Price came back down to it. Boom. And then let's say you had stop loss like below this area of support here. Okay, as you can see, we never hit stop loss because there were so many buyers in that area. And then from there, price was able to go ahead and just take off. So that's why I really do love, my apologies, but that's why I really do love making sure that your stop loss is at a good previous area of support. Because say you bought at, exactly, so yeah, so stop loss here, it's going to be the red line here in this case, but then the entry is going to be the black line. So we have this strong area of support that catapulted price up. So we just waited for a clean tap of it again. Okay, once it gave us to us, that was clean. Boom. Went ahead and take that. Yep, and then stop loss below the next key good area of support that's not too far away. And I know this is a good area of support because price came back down and bounced from it again. So if price were to go below here, then I know we were to go ahead and take that loss, but price didn't. Bounced from it again, and boom, we went ahead and blasted up. And there's always going to be a previous area of support you could take. Say you missed this one, right? Cool, all good. You got this one right here. You got this area of support here. Price decided to give a clean validation one right here, and then another one right here, OP. And then guess what? Another one. Exactly. Market's too easy. It's too easy. But it's exactly. And it's all about not overstaying too. Not overstaying your welcome and just making sure you're in your trade until you're at the right level. Like anyone who overstayed past this area of resistance, you got punished. Because why are you overstaying? That's greed. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you don't overstay, you'll be in a good situation when it comes to trading. Even the resistance mirror. Okay, let's go and let's check this out. Check this out here. We got this area of price over here. We got resistance over here. This is the 15-minute. And this 15-minute area of resistance, guess what? It caused this area of resistance to get created in. And price fell down. So even whenever you're shorting too, price works in the same exact way. Okay. Price works in the same exact way even when you're doing resistance mirror. Okay. So check this out. So you see how price decided to mark out this whole area here. So you see how price decided to make this area of resistance here. Why would we stop, run back up to this place? Same thing right here. We have resistance here. And that caused us to, once we actually cleanly tapped this here, we went ahead and resistance mirrored. And then you could take it down. And this is why I love shorting too sometimes. Because shorting, when you know where when you know where the support mirrors are, you know where to close. So you're not going to be overstaying your welcome. So if you ever do find yourself in an instance where you do need to short the market, you know, let's say, okay, let me find a good area here. Let me get on my 1 hour. So we got price heading in the upwards direction here. Let's say price stopped here. Because why is there resistance here? Into an abrupt resistance over here. And then there's more resistance over here. And then over here. And then there's support over here. And then we made heavy support over here. Okay, so something has to do with this red line here. This red line has a lot of price action on it. So let's say price were to head over to this red line and then give us a short. Okay, you could wait for price to head in the upwards direction. If it starts showing some bearish price action from the area that you do want to short at. Because, yeah, I'm a big fan of all of this shorting price action heading over here. Okay, so I'm just going to draw the box. Start it up here. And this whole area price is shorting from. Okay, this whole area price is shorting from. So knowing the context of both bullish and bearish scenarios, extremely important. Okay, extremely important. It's going to help put everything into perspective. Okay, so boom. So say price wanted to stop here and give us a short. Then that would go ahead and be able to give us leeway. And you see, like, why does price keep stopping here just to fall? Stop, fall, stop, fall. So price clearly does like this area, has a hard time getting past here sometimes. So price, once it comes to contact with here again, could definitely give us a nice potential to go ahead and fall. And then your take profit could just be an area of support. So even if you were to go ahead and take a short, take something like this, it could easily be, you know, stop loss above like resistance. Could be above here, something like that. And then take profit down to the next previous area of support. So then this would go ahead and leave us for a 1 to 3. Okay. So whether you are shorting, looking for old areas of resistances to the left, waiting for resistance mirror, and then taking it down into an area of support, or you're going to be waiting for support mirror and taking it up into an area of resistance. Okay. Got you. So support mirror. Okay. Gotcha. Yep. and then you're going to be taking it down to a key area of support. To key area of support. Yep. And then if you're longing, you're going to enter at the support mirror. But then you're going to want to close at the area of resistance. So for longing, you're entering at support mirror, closing at resistance. For shorting, you're entering at resistance mirror, closing at support. Absolutely. 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 So yeah, and you're gonna have your full guide. It's gonna be a really cool presentation. It's gonna be documents. So I'm gonna boot you up. Make sure you have everything. It's gonna be our margin guide on there too. Um, so yeah, that's why I did suggest let's okay. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and let's lock in another class for 20 if that works. Because by the time you go live, you're gonna be just ripping. I don't think you're gonna need more than 8 sessions in total. So let's go ahead and let's schedule this for tomorrow. And then I want you to add, so we're gonna do 2 more sessions. And then I want you to go ahead and start marking out setups and then grinding out the profit goal. I'm gonna send you your full parameters and everything. But yeah, for sure. Let's do it. For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, take your time for sure. We gotta eat. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let me get you scheduled tomorrow. So that's gonna be tomorrow at 5. And then let's go ahead and let's get in our bag. Because I know you're gonna get this really fast. You already see the support mirrors. And really the quicker that you see them and that we just put everything into perspective, the quicker that profit's really gonna start coming, you know? So, and that's what I want for you. I want you to be able to immediately open up the account and start growing it. Because you can, especially on futures, you can get to 10K within a month or two. Extremely fast. I'm actually about to go start a live futures account. Um, so yeah, if I don't, then it'll still be GLD options. So I'm still gonna be playing options with you guys. Real, real. So I would too. So check this out. So here's options, right? So you're buying like you wouldn't really need more than like 8 days out. Say you are buying a week out, right? One con be 450 there. Say you're buying a few days out, right? 245. Let's say you are buying one more day out. Okay, 131. Okay, so for a day trade there, a lot of time gold is gonna be pretty cheap, and especially when price hits certain areas, you're gonna be able to get contracts for cheap and make some pretty nasty flips. So here, let's say let's say I just went down to the puts here. So I could see they were able to go ahead and make a bag. The contract started at, $5.70. And then from $78. So that's making $500 profit. So here, even in a day when you catch the right move, as you can see, the 30th here, price action started from 930, started down here. It looks like it found an area of support around 930 in the market open. Price came down to 78 cents. Guess what? We're still in the same day. And then price decides to come all the way up. And then price decides to come up and give us a close up here. Okay, so that's $78. That turned to 330. It's gonna be 220 per win. Okay. And then it's going to be just super duper clean, easy. And then on options too, I did notice the mirrors are really clean. And it's also a lot less punishing too. Because if you get it wrong on futures, you are going to need some margin for your stop loss. But options, it can be a little less punishing, which is what I do like. Because I can easily tell here, boom, we got this whole support area here surviving for a reason. Head over to the left, scan it over here. Okay. So I can see over here is a buy zone. So we got price heading in upwards direction from over here. And then we have price come down. Okay, so we do have that wick right there, which I see. This one here. And as you can see, that's why we have these wicks here. So I'm zooming out. I got this wick over here. So these two area wicks of buying then cause price all the way over here to fall back down and react in the same zone here. Same buy zone. Okay, causing price to head in the upwards direction. So now, exactly. And then here, for sure. And then here, we're going to have this mirror. So we have support, support, exactly, support, and then support. Pretty much in the same zone here. Okay. Get on my 1 hour. So there's going to be buying within the same place here. And it looks like we already do have 1 hour closes. I do like this over here too. Because why would we give a morning wick? Right here. Just for price to head up. We wicked off of it again. And then guess what? This is going to be a 9:30 entry. So I don't know if you remember that too, but that's what I do love about options. Options, a lot of time, it's going to prime like at 9:30 or near 9:30 and then give you time to go ahead and catch your trade. So here, if I was waiting for a trade, I would wait for price to come down here. Exactly. So I would wait for it to tap right here. So I got this area of support here, this area of support here. And this is how I'm going to be able to just run up a fat bag day trading. I'm going to get the real trend, and I'm just going to wait for each mirror. I'm just going to run up a fat bag day trading. Run the 30-minute here. Resistance up here, of course. And then once again, you see these two support candles. And then guess what? Why would it make support over here again? So I'm going to wait for price to come back down here. See if price wants to give us a run. And then boom. And then blast. And I'm going to keep farming the trend. I'm just going to keep farming the trend. I'm just going to make it simple. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I'm going to keep farming the trend. I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to make sure that my levels line up. And make sure that everything that I'm seeing is accurate and on point. Okay, because when you do that, you're going to have a good basis and understanding. Um, yeah, and that's dead real. That's dead real. Don't rush the live. I wouldn't. But yeah, about 500. And I'm going to send you a full guide too, so you'll know what stop loss to put as well. It's going to be fully comprehensive. I'm going to make sure that's fully prepared for you. And yeah, I just want you to be in a scenario to where you can just dominate and eat off of these easy trades. Okay, so just wait for the areas of support to be interacted with again. Wait for price to come down if you're in a bullish scenario. And then wait for it to come down. Buy it again. Take it back up. Yep. So same thing. You're just making sure your support mirrors that you put circles around on your higher time frames make sense on your lowers. Yep. So guess what? So you know how we're waiting for this one down here? I already know after this leg or the next leg gets found, the next support mirror is going to be here. It's too easy. It's too easy. So we have this area of support here. And then why would price make these two areas of support right here? Why? Just to send price all the way up. So we have one area of support, 2, 3. That's going to be it. Okay, so once price comes back down, burst up, I'm going to wait for price to come back down again. And this is going to be my next trade. And then I would do something like stop loss underneath like this wick or something like that. You know, something that's logical and simple and makes sense. So farm the market. Farm the market. So I'm going to set my alerts down here. Farm the market and just be patient. Be patient and farm the market and watch how your account will flip. All right. So I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. I'm going to make sure this is posted and recorded for you and just a full session here. Awesome.